step because it really it makes it so much easier to break apart our chocolate bark. I definitely need to get in here and try a piece. This is like the best fruit and nut bar ever. Hey, it's Liv with Salt and Honey Catering, and today I'm gonna show you how to make holiday sweet treats that aren't complicated and anyone can do. And if you're wanting these recipes, check out the link down below in the description box. We have a link to our holiday hosting guide, which has tons of recipes perfect for this time of year. From warm, comforting, yummy beverages to appetizers, sides, great options for twists on your favorite classic proteins, and of course, some sweet treats. So check out the link below. It's free to download and I highly recommend. So today we're making easy as can be chocolate bark. For our chocolate bark today, we only have a couple of ingredients, but it is really imperative that these ingredients are as high quality as you can get them. I recommend getting the best chocolate chips that you can afford, along with whatever toppings you want. Personally, I like a mixture of some dried fruit as well as a couple of different varieties of nuts. So today I have apricots, pistachios, cashews, and some tart cherries. They will all complement our chocolate really well. There's a couple different ways that you can melt your chocolate. I'm gonna do mine today over a double boiler, but you can also use your microwave. Today I'm going to melt our chocolate chips on top of a double boiler. If you're not familiar with what a double boiler is, it's just a pan of water brought to about simmering, and then you're just gonna put a heat-proof, preferably a glass bowl, right on top. You just wanna make sure that the water level and the bottom of the bowl do not touch. Otherwise, it will scorch the chocolate if the water touches the bottom of the bowl. So what we'll go ahead and do is we'll add in our chocolate. We'll go ahead and keep an eye on it and let it melt, and we'll prepare our baking sheet. So to prepare the rest of our ingredients, you're just going to go ahead and chop up your nuts to your desired size, or quarter or slice any of your larger fruits. I've sliced my apricot pieces and I've roughly chopped my pistachios and my cashews. So just being mindful of the warm chocolate, you're going to go ahead and remove it from the heat. The bowl will be really warm, so if you're doing this with kiddos, which awesome recipe to do with kiddos, by the way, you'll just want to make sure, parent or adult human, to hold the bowl as you pour the chocolate onto the prepared sheet, just so that way nobody burns themselves. So we'll just go ahead and pour the chocolate into an even layer. You want it thick enough where you will have like a nice bit of candy, but also thin enough that you can get some decent coverage on the cookie sheet. The type of chocolate you use is completely up to you. I am not a fan of milk chocolate, so I always tend to err on the side of semi-sweet. But if you're someone who loves milk chocolate or white chocolate, you can do this exact same recipe using your preferred chocolate. I do also recommend not doing a chocolate bar, but actually just using chips, because chips have a certain number of stabilizers in them, which allows you to make this recipe without having to worry about properly tempering chocolate. We have our chocolate in a nice even layer, and it's opaque, so that way you are ensuring that the chocolate is going to be thick enough for when it breaks apart and you put it into, you break it into pieces, that it'll be the right thickness for it. Now this right here is the perfect cook's treat. I'm gonna snack on her later. So this next part is basically your version of Jackson Pollock. So go ahead and sprinkle on all of those fun toppings, whether it be marshmallows and graham crackers for s'mores, traditional like I have here with fruit and nuts, or if you opt to go for it and go all out and do a peppermint bark. There's nothing that quite says Christmas like a good bit of festive candy, in my opinion. I'm gonna do some pistachios next. And because the chocolate is warm, everything will adhere pretty darn well to the top of the bark. So that way you don't have to worry about having to press it in or anything like that. I think this looks pretty good. Have the last of my cashews here. I like to make sure there's even coverage across the entire sheet, just so that way I know for sure I'm gonna get something in every bite. We're gonna set this aside to cool and allow the chocolate to harden before we package it up and tuck in. You will want to let this cool at room temperature before you break it apart and tuck in. I do not recommend putting this in the refrigerator to cool down the chocolate, and the reason being is that the chocolate will bloom. It'll kind of get that dusty coating on it that will take away from the shine of the chocolate. I'm gonna go ahead and set this aside. Our chocolate bark is all cooled down and nice and ready to be broken up. This is why I love using parchment paper for this, because it really just, it makes it so much easier to break apart our chocolate bark. I definitely need to get in here and try a piece. This is like the best fruit nut bar ever. So good. I hope you really liked this video. I hope you check out these recipes. Also, don't forget, these recipes are available down in the description box using our link for our holiday hosting guide. It's free and totally worth the download. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy holidays, and I'll see you later.